You're listening to Jim Carty with Pat Phillips, producer of the Django Festival All-Star Band, longtime producer. I think we met through Bob Kelly, Grace Kelly's dad, the last time I saw the group at Birdland, uh, quite some time ago. So it's good to see you again, Pat.
What was the last thing you just said?
I said I believe we were previously introduced by Grace Kelly's parents
Oh,
at
okay.
Birdland years ago.
Okay.
It's my
Yes.
pleasure to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you also. And yes, Grace Kelly, wonderful artist, and her dad, who's a manager, is a good friend of, our band here.
I know that. I've known Grace since she was 12 years old. A lovely young lady.
She is. She's
And
adorable
she
and
absolutely
very
loves
talented.
working. Oh, yeah. And she loves working with uh, the Schmidt family and the All-Stars. She and I talk about it often. Um, so the Django All-Star band is currently in Montreal today for the 4th of
Right
July.
now.
Right now. They're
Yeah.
um, but they're making a swing down through the Mid-Atlantic and New England. Um, do you want to tell me about those tour dates, or do you want me to
Yes,
mention the date?
sure. Absolutely. They just landed in Montreal last night, and on July 4th, tonight, they're going to do their concert in at the Montreal Jazz Festival. Then tomorrow morning, they hop a plane, and I meet them in Baltimore. And in Baltimore, we're going to be doing 2 nights at the Keystone Corner. So that's July 5 and 6. And then from there, we're heading over to the Cape in Old Saybrook, Connecticut, the beautiful theater. I loved it. We were there about a year and a half ago, something like that. It was really a divine place and wonderful people that work there. We look very forward.
Quite the legacy that Katharine Hepburn left this area. When I was a child, she actually was friends with my seventh grade science teacher. And Katharine Hepburn and my science teacher liked horticulture and animal rescue. So Katharine Hepburn would come to my science class once or twice a year.
Oh, well, of course, as a woman, she's my idol. I
Yeah, she's pretty
look up to
cool.
her in many, many ways. She's a beautiful woman and a very independent type. And so I kind of revered her. And of course, as an actress, she was so talented. My favorite movies, were with Katharine Hepburn. So
Mhm.
we're heading over there from the Cape,
Yep.
which is on the 8th,
Eighth. Yep.
the Tuesday, the 8th. We have a little rest on Monday, and then on the 8th, we'll do that beautiful theater. And from there, we go back to New York and we have a private concert on the 9th. And
Mhm.
then we get ready for Dizzy's at Jazz at Lincoln Center on July 10 through 13. And we do 2 shows a night at 7 and 9. And on Sunday, it's early, it's 5 and 7.
Mhm.
And this is a repeat performance for us at Dizzy's. We were there last summer. It did very, very well. Everybody went crazy. And so then after that, we go out to the Hamptons to a radio sort of studio where we do a
Mhm.
concert, LTV, and then from there out to New Jersey for a festival, and that'll be the end of it. This is actually a short tour for the Django
Yep.
Festival All Stars.
What festival in New Jersey do you recall?
It's a HR pack. It's Hudson River. It's over in Weehawken.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really very nice. It overlooks the city, and um, this one is called sort of a tribute to Django, and we have some guests. So it's sort of a gathering of several people in that particular concert.
Nice. Um, Now, how did you, someone in the US,
Uh,
hook up with Dorado and his family, Samson and Ami,
oh
tell
my
me how, I
gosh.
mean,
Mm. Well, as you know, Dorado's not on this tour,
right.
right? Because he has a bad leg and he's supposed to have an operation on it anyway. Normally, we two are the five that are touring right now, and every so often Dorado does come, but we'll
Right.
see how the future goes. But how did I get with them? Oh my goodness. Um, my husband, partner, Ettore Estrada, who was a great, great musician, conductor, producer.
Hmm.
Um, Together, he had produced, oh, it's a long story. He had worked with Stefan Grappelli and produced many albums with him and also conducted for him whenever he played with orchestra. So, of course, the Django music was part of that program because Stefan and Django were partners in the Hot Club
Hmm.
Quintet in Europe going back many years. And so Etre was extremely familiar with that music and loved it and always put those artists in the concert ideas that he did with Stefan.
Hmm.
And from that, we did all of Stefan's concerts at Carnegie Hall. One was his 80th birthday, his 83rd with Yo-Yo Ma and all these great people, and
Hmm.
Michel Legrand and Toots Thielman and so forth. And then um, when he passed away, we did the memorial concert at Carnegie Hall. And
Hmm.
for it, we brought everybody, including all these great Django artists, including, if you know, Jimmy Rosenberg, and
Sure.
we had Jean-Luc Ponty and Mark O'Connor and on and on. And at that concert, there was such an enthusiasm over the Django part of the concert that we looked at each other and said, let's start a Django festival, which we did at Birdland in 2000.
Hmm.
And then after a couple of years, there was a friend of ours, Hans Mielen, who lived in Holland, who said, you have to meet this amazing artist, Dorado Schmidt. And after the first 2 years, we brought Dorado. And once brought Dorado, there was no turning back. The people went really crazy over him.
He's mesmerizing to watch,
He is
isn't he?
mesmerizing. He is charming. He is the real deal as far as being a gypsy and his life and his soul. But at the time that we started with him, which was around 2003,
Hmm.
something like that, or 2002, it was actually, Samson was 21 and he was just playing rhythm for Dorado. But in a moment, I realized this young guy had really something. Etre and I both thought he was going to be something, which he is.
Oh, he's very powerful to watch and listen
Amazing.
to.
Yes, he's amazing, not just as a player who can go all over the guitar with all this fancy work. He's a composer, he's an arranger, he's an improviser on the spot, the likes of which I've never seen. And then
Agreed.
and then Ludovic, let's talk about Ludovic Bayer, the great accordionist. When he heard we had a festival, being the very smart guy that he is, sent a CD to us right away, which was him playing with the great Angelo DeBar. And we put it on and we said, oh my God, this guitarist is fabulous, but wait a minute. Who is that accordionist? He's incredible.
Hmm.
And immediately we called Ludovic and we told him to come to New York. So he became part of it from the very beginning and surrounding Dorado. And then from there, it all, there's more to the story it built from there.
And I don't think Amadi
Well, let me tell Ahmad, he
is
was just born when we started,
right, right. But he's not on this
not on
tour
this.
dates
It's very hard to travel more than
to
five
get.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I was lucky when I saw Grace Kelly at Birdland. It was the whole family was there with Amadi,
oh,
Samson, and Dorado, and I was just in heaven that night. I was something else.
really, it's quite something with them. The Dorado is in absolute heaven when he has his two sons by his side. And of
He is
course,
so proud. You can
oh,
see
yes,
the pride in his boys
yeah.
and what he has produced as offspring and taught them
Not
well.
just produced, yes, produced. He
Yeah,
taught them
yeah,
everything.
no, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he produced them, he brought them into the world, and then he taught them, like his father did to him, how to play. They don't really read music or anything, and they don't
Mm.
study it. it's
They breathe
some
it, they live it.
culture.
Yeah.
And yes, that was incredible. So that was Dorado and Sons. and Ludovic was part of that, and Franco, the great rhythm guitarist, who is with us now. And yeah, that was amazing. And we'll probably do that again sometime. But right now, I'm touring Samson with Ludovic and Pierre on violin and
Mhm.
Franco on rhythm and Antonio, the great bassist. We love Antonio.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that as the excuse me, the eldest son, and I think that he's at the height of his powers. People will be very pleased with Samson uh,
Oh,
being the de facto patriarch of the Schmidt family organization on this tour.
yeah,
No one will be
absolutely.
disappointed, right?
No, my God. They just come off, also started the tour in the south of France at the in Fontainebleau, France, the big Django Reinhardt Festival, and they were featured on the big stage there. They just sent me a video. It was
Mhm.
over 8,000 people, went crazy. They were all
Awesome.
standing up and screaming. I have it on video. And Samson was leading the way. No, Samson to me, after having worked with so many incredible musicians, along the way in my life and career, why do I spend so much time with Samson, Schmidt, Dorado, Amati, Ludovic, all these guys? Because they're way up there at the top with any musician of any style, of anything, of any prominence that I have ever worked with. I am constantly mesmerized with their talent and also with their ability to write new music that actually people enjoy. A lot of times in jazz, the people don't connect with the music. It's not always melodic. They somehow make this very interesting music that's very melodic, very catchy, and extremely, what should I say? Well, everything. That's all I.
Right. There, I mean, it can swing, it can be powerful, it can be romantic.
Oh,
You will
very.
go through movements when you go to a show with these guys. There are movements and moods and colors to the music
Mhm.
that you will go away. I'm telling you, like I literally was in tears and using my broken French with Dorado to tell him how happy I was to see him. And he was very patient and listened to my bad French.
What about the charisma, the charm of
Oh
these
my God.
guys? How they love to play together and how they love to give it to the audience and how the audience responds to them. It's like a love fest. And so why do I give so much of my life to them? This is very hard work,
Yeah.
touring musicians coming from France. It's almost an impossible thing, but I do it because they are very nice people. They are lovely to work with. They have fun. They have the right attitude about what they do. They know that it's difficult, but once they settle down and they do the music, they're in heaven. So am I, and so is the audience. It's really great.
Good, good. Well, it definitely is a nice thing to carry on after your husband's legacy, or as part of your husband's legacy and yours
That's
as a
right.
couple. And I can kind of see George Wean's picture behind you on your desk there. I see his head behind you. Now, had you had the Django Festival All Stars on Newport? I believe so, right?
Oh, we did years
Yeah,
ago, and we got a sensational review, really something
yeah,
great. And I hope to get back there again. I'm going to work on it for next summer. I hope so, because they loved it there. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah.
They also did this group that's going to the Cape is the same group that went to the Hollywood Bowl Playboy Festival and got
Mm,
picked as the highlight of the entire weekend by LA Scene
yep.
magazine. Yeah.
Now let's talk about the record. So you have a record that's in the can. I believe you mentioned that there's going to be some available, even though it's technically pre-release right now. So it's not released to radio or anybody
No.
just yet, but you did produce enough to satisfy the fans from off
Oh
the
yeah.
stage. So what's the record called? What material was done and
Okay.
what was your
So
part in it as the producer?
Yeah, I'm the producer, but we also have an executive producer whose name is Douglas Reeds, who's been a big fan of the All Stars all through. He's been very helpful to us,
Mhm.
and he came through on this and helped us do this record. Well, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say the title that's on the album right now, but we have interest from a record company that I'm hoping we're going to make a deal and we're going to give it over to that record company to actually release. Right now, it's under my company, which is SP Productions, and we have it titled Swing and Ready right now, but we might be changing the title, so don't hold on to that. But the music on it is the music. That is what we're going to be performing at the Kate, and that is the music that'll be on the album, even with a different title. And it's this is the album. It's just whether we're going to hand it off to this record company that seems very interested, and then have it all done and ready for the next tour in November, which
Mhm.
is going to be kicked off on November 13th with a concert at the Sony Theater in New York, celebrating 25 years plus of this whole project.
Wow, that's quite a milestone. Now, on the record, is the group that is touring the exact or slightly different
No, this
group on
group
the
that is
record?
touring. This group on the record, their compositions, and exactly what they're going to do at the Kate and the rest of the tour.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
Anything else that I am missing about this fabulous project of yours?
Well, what I would say about the group, which fascinates me, is how amazing they play together. I mean, there's something amazing about how they read each other while they're playing and how tight they are as a band. It's something that grew over the years. Of course, it all started with known standards way back when, and then
Mhm.
adding a little bit of new music and so forth. But over the years, they've started to do their own music. And just the way they read each other on the stage and how amazingly tight and fabulous they are together. I mean, this to me is a real perfect band. That's all I can say.
Oh, I mean, they're pretty
And I make a
fantastic.
prediction, they're going to bring the audience to its feet at the end. They always do, always. They're great fun. Anyone who comes to see this concert is going to see a joyous, evening, as you said, and go out with a smile on their face, be very happy.
Right. Now, uh, I've seen them with guests in New York. Are there any potential for somebody to drop by Dizzy's? I don't think there's any are billed with guests, but
Yeah, at Dizzy's, actually, I don't know if you've heard of Elio Alves. He's
Mhm.
a Brazilian pianist who I love and is a friend. And he, at one time in Birdland, he played on, excuse me, he played on one of the numbers of Samson's beautiful new ballads called Stenley. And Samson was so happy with it and loved Elio. So I said, Elio, come on, show up. And you come up and you play on that. So that is on Saturday night. He's going to play on that. And I have no doubt that once he's at the piano, he'll probably do more.
right, right. Well, I'm glad I asked.
But not other guests, unless there are others who are going to show up, whether the guys are going to invite them up or not, I don't know. But it's not
Right.
part of the program.
When you get a group of that caliber and they're coming from France and they're not here all the time, musicians, if they have the night off, may very well at least come down for themselves, and is my experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good, good.
So, I mean, when we do um, what I call the festival, which is, which we did at Birdland for 25 years, we always had guests because it's sort of usually a festival, as you know, they change artists all the time. But I couldn't change the artists because this is the artist that the people wanted. So I said, how do we keep it legitimately as a festival?
Hmm.
The way to do it is have guests every night, and every night almost try to have a different guest. And so people accepted it as a festival, even though I didn't change the artist, because if I did, the people would be saying, well, where are they? Or why aren't they coming? Or when I get a lot of calls for them. And
Yeah.
that's the artist that they want to see. And they will be back again, in November, and I'll be adding to that at that concert. Also, Victoria Swift, the singer.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Veronica, I meant. I'm sorry,
Veronica.
Veronica
I knew
Swift.
you meant because I had seen her on the schedule.
She's going to be with us in November.
Yeah.
She's going to travel with us. And that'll be fun because she loves them and she wanted to do it. And I said, okay, let's try it. That will be fun.
Yeah, that should be great.
Yeah, she really is very good with the band. So she'll travel with us and do a few numbers on every show. But that's in November. Right now, it's the five guys. It's a perfect program.
Well, good. Now that we're in touch, for the next time, maybe I can have an interview for the November dates with one of the guys in the band. We'll work on that in the
Oh,
meantime.
good. That sounds good to me.
I hated to put you under pressure since this is not your usual role, but I did want to talk to somebody and
I know.
help get the word out.
I
Um,
appreciate it
so
very much. And as I said,
and your perspective was fantastic, Pat, because it's the perspective of just what you have in the organization that people don't always hear. It was very nice.
oh, thank you so much. And I'm appreciative to the Cape to have us back. I worked hard on that. We really liked it there very much. It's a charming place,
Absolutely.
really. And of course, we're going to Keystone Corner, and it's a wonderful place. They're all great. And then, so, if you live in Baltimore, come to the Keystone Corner. If you're in Connecticut, we hope to see you at the Cape. If you're in New York, of course, Dizzy's is a great place, a beautiful place.
And we're close enough that if you're not able to make it to the Cape, we're close enough you can drive to Dizzy's or what the festival in New Jersey. We're only a couple hours out of the New York area anyway,
Yeah.
which is great.
Well, we're looking very forward. I'm going to get the review tonight from them of how the Montreal Jazz Festival is going. That's a big theater that they do up there.
Mhm.
It's a little under 1,000,
Oh wow,
and
that is big. Yeah.
yeah, they always do great. They do terrific up there, and they're invited back all the time. That tells you, how good they are as a group, the group as it is right now that's traveling. No, they're great.
Yeah. Yeah. No question. Well, thank you so much, Pat. I hope you enjoy your 4th of July and we'll see you in a few days. And
Okay.
I will send you a copy of this video where to access it. So if you want to share it with your social media or have the band do the same.
Oh,
Uh,
yes, the band will want to see it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
scolded them this morning. I was kidding with them. I said, "So you didn't get to do the Zoom interview." I said, "Guess who's doing it?" So anyway,
I didn't mean to cause any ruckus. Don't put it on me.
well, thank you so much. Really,
My pleasure.
pleasure to talk with you.
All right, Pat. You have a
See
good
you soon.
weekend. Take care.
Okay, you too. Bye bye.
Bye.